right, welcome to this very special episode of Trojan Poetry. It's episode number 103, which is, I believe, the temperature of a very bad fever.
Yes, it would be. And you could actually be hot-blooded, according to popular music. You can do more than dance, as long as you don't have double vision.
All right, so for this one, I really tried to find something that was kind of snow-centered or ice-centered, because we just had a blizzard here in the Midwest, and I was feeling it. So I was like, okay, what can we talk about with that? And I found this one. We've done this poet before, Christian Wiman. We read some poems that he translated by Osip Mandelstam, and then we read a Christian Wiman poem. And then I found this one. I think it's perfect. So here we go. This is called This Inwardness, This Ice by Christian Wiman. Mike has not read it. This inwardness, this ice, this wide boreal whiteness into which he's come with a crawling sort of care for the sky's severe blue, the edge on the air, trusting his own lightness and the feel as feeling goes. This discipline, this glaze, this cold opacity of days begins to crack. No marks, not one scar, no sign of where they are, these weaknesses rumoring through, growing loud if he stays, louder if he turns back. Nothing to do but move, nowhere to go but on, to creep and breathe and learn a blue beyond belief, an air too sharp to pause, this distance, this burn, this element of flaws that winces as it gives. Nothing to do but live, nowhere to be but gone. All right, quite an enigma of a poem. And I've read it now probably a couple dozen times, and I'm still kind of confounded, but that's why I loved it. I was like, you know, because I read a bunch of poems, and I kind of stop halfway through, and I get tired of something or whatever, and then I hit this one, I was like, yeah. But it like hit me, and I was like, okay, this is one we've got to figure out and talk about.
Well, there's a lot of food for thought.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I mean, we mentioned all those foreigner lyrics at the beginning. This is way better than foreign. So I just want that to for the record.
Blasphemy.
When I listened to you read it, actually, because the line breaks are so
very confusing.
I don't want to say bizarre, but
because it's in couplets or it's in two-line stanzas.
Yeah.
But they're often in jammed, but sometimes they're end stopped, and it's hard to get the rhythm. And I've read it, so I could kind of.
And the sentences kind of come and go. Maybe that's to mirror the feeling that the speaker has. Yeah. There's only. Unless I'm wrong here, there's only two rhymes. So this discipline, this glaze, this cold opacity of days, and then no marks, not one scar, no sign of where they are, which just occurs right in the middle of those two sentences. And I thought that the turn was later on, where he says, nothing to do but move, nowhere to go but on, because the end seems to be positive somewhat. He's finding what he's looking for, maybe. But then the fact that that's the only place where there's rhyme in the poem, I thought that was pointing to something important. I'm not quite sure what that could be yet.
Well, there is rhyme, also nowhere to go but on, and at the very end, nowhere to be but gone.
Okay.
So tying those two lines of you have to keep moving with you're going to be gone. Somehow that, right? And the repetition of nothing and nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like it. Like, it was like, oh, wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's saying. Right. But let's try to figure it out. So I think I have some ideas.
Okay.
But do you?
Well, I always go literal the first time I read something or hear something read, and so I thought the literal was he's this boreal whiteness into which he's come with a crawling sort of care, trusting his own lightness as the feel as feeling goes. This discipline, this glaze, if I could talk. So it sounds like this is something he's done before. He seems to enjoy the fact, or he's proud of himself that he has this sense of discipline. He trusts himself in this journey that he's on, but then it begins to crack. And that is right in the middle of those two rhymes that I found earlier. So maybe that is the turn that he felt confident at first, it seems like, in whatever this journey is that he's on, but then now something started to crack. There's something negative coming in. And the line that I really like towards the end, fourth up from the bottom, learn a blue beyond belief. I just pictured him crawling out of this hole
Are you crawling or swimming?
in the ice. Well, it's kind of like I'm like a mole. See, I'm going like this sideways.
Because crawling, I think, would be like this.
Well,
You like
yeah, I prefer this to keep it out of my face, John. Come on.
I got you. Okay.
How many holes have
Right.
you dug?
Okay, so the
so he
blue-
emerges into this beautiful sky,
Right.
maybe, or
And at the beginning of the poem, right, he's going into the ice or the inwardness to get to the severe blue. Mm-hmm. Right. So it is a quest.
Yes,
He's looking for
yes.
severe blue,
Crawling
and then at the
towards it.
bottom, he's creeping and breathing and learning a blue. So he achieves it.
yeah, he gets there,
Right.
And that seems to be the moment of positivity,
Or
but-
that's the goal, at least. I'm
right,
sorry.
or the goal, yeah. But then the last two lines: nothing to do but live, nowhere to be but gone. This element of flaws that winces as a give. So then it becomes negative again at the end. It seems to me, nowhere
Well,
to
and-
be but gone. So is he trying to become part of the blue and like lose himself, or
Well, okay.
How did
so
you read
as
that?
you were talking, I think I figured part of it out.
Okay.
Because I was confused by the element of flaws, but I think the element of flaws is the ice. Right? Ice is the element of flaws. And if
Okay.
you look at the title, because it's very curious, this inwardness, this ice, right? So I think what I now understand is that he feels his inward self is cold and icy. And he's trying to crawl out of it, or he's crawled into himself, right? Because he's come into himself to try to find something blue. Is that what's happening? Like, is this a journey inward,
that's what I was trying
or
to
is it
figure
a
out.
journey outward?
Because it seems at first he's tunneling somewhere almost, or crawling somewhere. But I think you're right.
Into which he's come, but the ice
Yeah.
into which he's come
Yeah.
with a crawling sort of curve. So he's.
It's
yeah.
almost like he's got to go through something and come out on the other side.
Right.
And I agree. I think that if you read this as symbolically or as a metaphor, he's fighting his own inner. He's stuck. He's icy. He feels cold, and he wants to break through that, either to the other side, as Jim Morrison used to say, or he's trying to fight his way from inside and get back out and see. It's like he's going from a tiny little claustrophobic tunnel kind of a space out to this agoraphobic giant sky, right? What else did you see?
So then the last two lines are kind of an echo of the stanzas slightly above. Nothing to do but move, nowhere to go but on. Like, you don't have a choice. You've got to keep moving, right?
Yes.
You can't quit living. Even if you're stuck and you're cold, you keep moving, keep searching, and then it turns into nothing to do but live, right? That's the point. Nowhere to be but gone. So then I was like, okay, living and being gone, like, that's death, right? When you're gone, you're dead. But then what I came to think, as I was thinking about it, was maybe nowhere to be but gone is like you keep moving, so you're gone from where you were. Like, if you keep moving, you're always gone because you're not.
You're moving ahead.
Right, you're
right?
not dead.
You're not going to stay in that ice.
Right, because he purposefully doesn't say dead. Nothing
Yeah.
to do but live, nowhere to be but dead.
Right.
Right,
yeah,
that would be the
well,
obvious juxtaposition.
Yeah.
But when he changes it to gone and rhymes it with nowhere to be but on, nowhere to go but on, it seems to me like he's saying you're always leaving as you're traveling, so
Right.
you're always gone, but you're living. Like, that's living. Living
Yeah.
is...
Each moment you're
Right.
moving forward, and that moment's gone, and
Right.
so you're not who you were a moment ago.
Right.
Right. I think we talked about that in an earlier episode. Like, every 7 years, your cells have regenerated, so you're literally a new person, right?
Right.
And I think those words, nothing and nowhere, that just gives it such a finality to it. You have no choice.
Right.
This is the only place you can be, right?
Right.
There's
That is
nowhere
living.
else you could be. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're always, I don't know. So I thought it was really cool, very powerful,
Yeah.
confounding, but in a good way, right? Simple, but elegant and mysterious in all the right ways. So then I was like, okay, I want to find a painting that somehow matches this. And I searched around for a while, and I thought, Paul Klee, my favorite painter, probably has something to do with this, right? So sure enough,
Yeah.
I have found a painting.
When all else fails, turn to Paul Klee.
This is called The Path to Blue. The Path to Blue. So Mike is seeing this for the first time. I'll put it up on the screen.
I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this before. I just actually went with my family over Thanksgiving break to the Art Institute downtown, but I did not encounter any
Well, this
Paul
is not
Klee
the
when I
art.
was
Oh,
there.
really? He's
Yeah.
there. They've got him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't hit the whole modern wing,
okay.
but
They don't have
yeah.
my favorites of his, but
Okay.
this one I'd never seen before. The Path to Blue. It seems to me like it's almost like it was written, it was painted, somehow they're like in
Together.
conjunction.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't know, Mike, what connections can you make between this painting and
So
this?
it's path to blue, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, the path itself is this kind of like Z formation there. And this looked to me like a Japanese calligraphy almost at first, because you can see the streaks in the brush almost, which I think is awesome. So I was thinking Z for Zen, and I was making all these connections. And then the fact that the sun is blue, or whatever that planet or circle is floating in the sky.
It's not the moon.
It could be the moon. It could be the moon, right? And you're walking. You're taking the path with your eyes back to the moon, just like the speaker in the poem
Just happens to be on a path to blue.
Right, is moving on a path to blue. So I agree with you. I think it's so simple.
Right.
It's so
But here's
simple.
my question. The path to blue in the painting does not lead to the blue. Look at the painting. It leads
goes past.
beside the blue.
Yeah, so you can kind of catch it while you're as you go by.
Because if you were walking on this, it would still be above you. It's not like it just is a direct arrow to now I'm on the moon or on the sun or on whatever this is.
Right, and there's two shades of blue. So which blue are you
Right.
trying to get to? Are you trying to just be in the blue that you're already in, or are you trying to get up to this moon
Right.
or planet above you?
It's a very mysterious painting, I feel like. And you're not, I asked somebody else what they thought, and they also said the word Zen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think the calligraphy kind of stroke there that he put at the bottom with that Z.
And I wish I could see this in person, because of course paintings are so much more beautiful and vivid and just shocking in person.
And when you see the size of it, I mean, we saw the famous George Seurat pointillism painting, and my kids had seen it at school in their art class, and they were just blown away. They couldn't believe how big it was. And so to see this,
I wonder.
in
I don't
person
know how
would
big it
be-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the colors would be, because it talks about a truer blue and the severer blue, and then I saw the two blues and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
you have the original plus the darker.
Right.
in
It must
there.
be
Yeah.
very cool to see in person.
And begins to crack. You could see this. There's almost a crack in the ice.
See? Paul Clay.
It's all there, Paul.
Paul Clay. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, does it every time.
All right. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us on Twitter at Trojan Poetry DGN or join our website at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com.